Nicole, and I am here with a story time video, and I just want to let you guys know that by the end of this video I'm going to be totally blind because it's kind of nighttime right now. It's like around 8 o'clock, and so the sun is going down, and I use the sun as my lighting, and so I have no lighting right now, and I'm using Sean's phone. I'm using his flashlight as lighting, and it's absolutely blinding me. Like, I can barely see a damn thing right now. I love that we can make little hand puppets over here. Let's do that really quick. Let's see. How do we do a dog? Ruff, 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 there we go. Ruff, 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 ruff. Ruff, 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 ruff. Okay, anyways, so today's story time video is going to be about fist fights that me and my twin sister have gotten into, and there is not one single good reason that we've gotten into a fist fight. Actually, most of the fist fights we've gotten into were absolutely stupid reasons. But I am kind of bummed out that Maggie is not here to tell this story with me. I've been wanting to tell stories like this for quite some time, but I wanted to do them with Maggie. I felt like doing a video with her and us telling the stories together would have been so much more fun, but you know what? I'm just gonna do it, and then when she gets out of jail, then we'll do another video like this. I guess the first fight that I'll tell you guys about is when Maggie and I were both really into drugs. This was before I got pregnant, way before I got pregnant, and Maggie and I had just moved to Idaho. We were probably there for about a year. Maggie and I were probably sophomores in high school. I'm gonna go get a new battery really quick before I get into this because my camera's gonna die. Our biggest thing at this point in our lives was smoking pot. We were absolutely fucking crazy about smoking pot. We were stealing every single electronic that we could get from our house to sell that to get pot. Basically, Maggie and I, we were home alone one day at our new house, you know, the very first house that we had moved into, and Maggie had like some pot, you know, like she went to this school, like we both went to two different schools. Like she went to the alternative school where like all the like the bad kids and the drug kids went to, and I went to like the yuppie high school. You know, for the alternative school it was like the same, but like this was the alternative. She went to the alternative school of the high school that I went to, and I hated it there. I hated it. I just wanted to be at the alternative school with Maggie. But because she went to that school, she met a lot of people that could get her weed and drugs and all this type of stuff. So she was like meeting a bunch of friends, and so Maggie always had the weed, you know, when we were in Idaho and just starting to like, you know, meet people. Like Maggie always had the weed. She was always the one that had weed, you know. And so there was one day that like we were home, and I remember we were sitting there and we were getting ready to smoke, and we had like this little metal pipe, you know. It was like something that like you could unscrew and turn it, and it turned into like a keychain that looked like a mushroom, and it was really popular back then, you know, like everybody had one, except for it was like it came in a bunch of different colors, so like everybody had like a different like little mushroom keychain hidden pipe thing. And so Maggie and I had one of those, and that's what I wanted to smoke out of. I was telling Maggie, like, come on, let's just, you know, smoke out of the pipe, like whatever, you know, let's just get stoned, you know. And then she was like, no, Nicole, we're gonna smoke out of the gravity bong. We're gonna make a gravity bong out of like 2-liter or a milk jug or something. Like, that's what we're gonna do. And I was like, no, Maggie, that's gonna take way too long. We're not gonna do that. Let's just get stoned right now and not fuck around. And then she was like, no, it's my weed, and this is what we're gonna smoke out of. And I was like, you're so fucking stupid. Like, let's just fucking get stoned, dude. Like, why are you fucking delaying the process? Maggie is a minute older than I am. She's my twin sister, and she's a minute older than I am, and you best believe that she uses that against me. Plus, she's bigger bone than I am. She's always been stronger than me, so she always like uses her brute strength against me. Plus, when we were younger, we were all in Taekwondo, and me and my brother quit early. Like, we quit at yellow belts, and Maggie made it all the way up to a black belt. And so she has some fucking strength in her punches. Like, I always remember whenever she punched me, it felt like a fucking brick. And so, you know, I was like, you know, getting pissed that Maggie was using her strength against me. Like, no, Nicole, we're smoking out of a gravity bong. And so I decided that since she wasn't going to listen to me, that I was going to take her mirror. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but you know, like those long mirrors, like they're like really cheap. They're probably like $5 or $10 at Walmart, and like it's just like a thin, long plastic mirror. I took Maggie's mirror and I baseballed her with the fucking mirror because she wouldn't agree with me. And so immediately that kind of like ended that fight, you know, like just because like she wasn't agreeing with me. So I took the mirror and I picked it up and I baseballed it against her like she was the baseball and the mirror was the bat, and it shattered everywhere and it sliced her arm, and there was a big old gash on her arm. She still has the scar to this day, and her arm was just bleeding, and I was just like, oh shit, I'm sorry, you know. And after that, then like we just cleaned up the glass and smoked out of the pipe. Yeah, I was just really glad that she didn't decide to retaliate against me that day after she got sliced, you know, because I'm sure she was fucking pissed after the fact, but I think once she saw that she was sliced and she was bleeding everywhere, and it was really deep, like she probably could have gotten stitches because like the scar even now is like so fucking deep, even though she's like this big Billy badass, you know, or, you know, sometimes can be, like, she is terrified of needles and doctors, and she will fucking bleed to death before she gets stitches. That was that. And then there was another day. It could have been like the next day, or it could have been like a week later. I don't remember, but there was one day that Maggie and I were having another argument in the garage. And we were literally just sitting there, like, talking shit to each other. Like, I don't remember why. I don't remember what we were mad at each other about, or if there was even a reason we were mad at each other. But we were just sitting there, smoking a cigarette in the garage, talking shit to each other. Like, mad shit, like fighting words, you know? And she was like calling me a fucking slut and like all this shit, and like she was just calling me like really nasty names, and I was coming back at her with nasty names. And like she was like, you know what, Nicole, like I remember like right before shit went down, like she was like, you know what, Nicole, one of these days somebody's gonna come and they're gonna fucking punch you in the face and they're just gonna knock you down to the ground. And I was just like, and I knew that, like, you know, the snobby like bitchy prissy shit would piss her off, and I was just like, well, that's not gonna happen. And as soon as I fucking said that, she fucking punches me square in the face, and I hit the ground, and I'm just on the ground like, ah, fucking bitch. And like the first thing that I see is a pair of lobster tongs sitting on the ground. So I grab those, I'm like, ah, and I just start wailing on her with these lobster tongs, and I'm just, punch Meg in the face. I finally stop, and I knew that as soon as I stopped, because I was almost afraid to stop. Maggie was scary. She was very strong. That's why I needed a weapon, is because there's no fucking way I could take her without a weapon. It's not fair. I was like afraid to like stop hitting her, because I knew that if I didn't, then she was gonna come at me. So as like I eventually started to make her bleed from hitting her with these lobster tongs. She was bleeding from being hit. And so I stopped and I like chucked the lobster tongs. You know what? I don't know if I did. I might have not, because I didn't want her to come after me with them. So I might have just kept on to the lobster tongs. But either way, I booked it out of the garage as fast as I could. And she's like booking it after me. And then like she like, you know, stops and realizes that she's like bleeding. She's like, what did you do? What did you do? And like, I don't remember why, because I remember being very like afraid that she was gonna come after me, but she said something or did something that made me so fucking mad that the fight didn't end there. I then grabbed a knife, just a kitchen knife, and I chased her up the stairs and into my mom's room, and she locked my mom's room my mom's door, you know, and she was in my mom's room, and I'm just fucking stabbing the fucking door trying to get in there and kill my sister. And I was just yelling, I'm gonna fucking saw your head off. I was fucking pissed, and I don't even know why. Yeah, there was also a time when we were younger that, like, I just remember, like, I don't remember why. She was such a freaking asshole as a child, you know? She was so mean. She was the child that got expelled from elementary school for beating up all the other boys. We were on the bus as children, and she got so freaking mad. I don't remember why. Yeah, let's see. We were on the bus, and I think she was just being an asshole. I think we were in like 6th grade or something, 5th or 6th grade, and she was just being an asshole, just being obnoxious or whatever. And I think she was like making fun of one of her friends who was this really big. He was really, really big. Like, he was like big boned and just a really big guy. Like, she was like, you know, just picking on him. Like, he was her friend, you know, like he was part of her friend group, but they had kind of like a love-hate relationship where like they were friends but they fucking hated each other at the same time. And she was like picking on him and making fun and being obnoxious and stuff. And then he was getting off the bus. It was his stop to get off the bus. And before he got off the bus, he took Maggie's head and slammed it against the bus window. And she like looked up and like her lip was bleeding. Like, this kid gave her a fat lip and her lip was bleeding. And so she got up and she fucking jumps over the seats, because as soon as he did that, he starts like speed walking trying to get off the bus, and she fucking jumps over multiple seats to tackle this kid and gets him in a fucking death headlock. And she's sitting there choking this kid out, and he's like struggling trying to get out of her hold, and she's choking him out. They're right next to the bus driver. Like, the bus driver is sitting here, Maggie, stop it, you're gonna kill him, Maggie, you're gonna kill him. And like, she's like yelling at Maggie, and finally the kid gets away and books it off the bus and all the way home. And she got suspended for that. But there was multiple occasions where Maggie got into fights like that with the guys at my school. I remember a day that like Maggie, when we were kids, like she got a pogo stick, and I think it might have been like a pogo stick for all of us, or it might have just been for Maggie. Either way, Maggie was like obsessing over that thing like all day at home. She's like practicing on her pogo stick. She got to the point where she was so good that she didn't have to like have hands, and like I was doing that too. Like, I was like, yeah, I can do it too, you know? And I was like pogo sticking with no hands and stuff. And so we thought that we were like the coolest shit ever. And this was also in elementary school. I don't remember if I mentioned that, but we thought we were so fucking cool because we could pogo stick with no hands. And so Maggie decides that she wanted to bring the pogo stick to school. And so I was like, hell yeah, we can like show off to all our friends, yeah. And so Maggie, like, she brings the pogo stick and she starts like like to show off to her friends, and her friends are coming around and they're like, yeah, that's awesome, oh my god, no hands, look at her go. And she'd like pass it around to the other people to see if they could, and they all failed miserably. And then Maggie's over here like, yeah, look at me, I'm pogoing like a pro. I was getting jealous. I was like, I can pogo too, let me show them, let me try. And Maggie's like, no, you can't try. And I was like, let me try, I can do it too. And like, there was like a huge group of kids around. Like, there was everybody, like probably every single 6th grader that was like in that school was like circling us, because it was like right before school started. Like, you know, like the recess, like before school, like you just get to school and all the kids are on the playground, and then the bell rings and it's time to go line up for your class. Like, this was before that. And so Maggie's like hogging the pogo stick, and I was like, dude, let me try, let me show off too. And she was like, no. So she's sitting there like, yeah, enjoying her fucking thunder, you know, just enjoying it. And I got fucking fed up, so I fucking kicked that bitch from underneath her. And she got so mad. I was like so mad that I started to cry. Like, I was like, she just wouldn't share it with me. As the teacher was asking me, why did you kick it out from underneath her? I was like, you wouldn't share. And I just miss her so much. So I really actually enjoyed telling these stories, because I miss her a lot. And I don't know, it's nice to tell stories about the people you miss. But I definitely want to do like more videos like this when she gets out of prison. Like I would love to like, you know, do videos with her, you know, and telling you guys stories about like our childhood and stuff. I think that'd be fun. I'll see you guys later. Bye!